Welcome! This is my review of Reveal the Shield Voyager-class Lugnut. And as you can see here, we've got Lugnut in the vehicle or the bomber mode. And it does have a realistic look to it. If you compare this version to the animated version of Lugnut, you'll know that the animated version, of course, is more cartoon accurate, more cartoony, if you will, in appearance. So if you're looking for a more realistic version of Lugnut, this may be your toy. Now, I like the fact that if you notice here on the turbines, you do have black and yellow stripes, kind of a hazard or caution stripes. Now this design, this very same design, can be found in the animated Lugnut version. So I like how, in a way, Reveal the Shield Lugnut is paying homage to the animated version of Lugnut. So I think that's really cool that they threw that design element in there. So as we have a look at the bomber mode here, it does have 4 wheels for landing gear, and it does roll, reasonably well. If you'll notice on the tail fin here, it has the alphanumeric lettering LU-6, NU-7, and if you substitute the 6 for a G and the 7 for a T, you'll have Lugnut. And you have the same alphanumeric lettering here on the wingspan, which is cool. And if we look at the front of the bomber, I like how they have the shark tooth design here. Really cool. If you're familiar with the old World War bombers, they often had this kind of design on the nose of the bombers, which is really cool. Gives this figure, or this Transformer, a lot of character because they added that detail. Now I'd like to talk about the front area, the nose of the vehicle mode. This is actually soft plastic, and all this down here is soft plastic. It's pliable, it flexes, and I only mention that because I don't recall any Transformer having this type of material as part of its construction. So it does have a pliable feeling to it, so it does, flex a little bit. You'll notice it has a red translucent cockpit here. Really nice. These guns, they can rotate, and they are also made of a kind of a rubbery plastic. You can see how that bends. The other features, you do have the tail fin, which does go from side to side like that. You do have a gimmick back here, or if you bring this down here, you can see you have a missile. The trigger actually is this purple button here. So, and really you can't do a whole lot with this other than fire from the back, I guess. This does rotate around, but it's kind of a useless gimmick in my opinion. You do have articulation at the wings. Nice ratcheted joints there. And that will play a part in the transformation. Now, one thing I like about the vehicle mode also is the fact that it does a really good job of hiding the robot parts. Now, I will point out that these are actually will become the claws here. This is the 2 fingers and the, I guess you call it a thumb. And yeah, you can see it, but it's not like it's very obvious. I mean, there are been other examples of where a Transformer will have obviously hands just hanging out there with no attempt to try to hide these. At least they made some attempt to try to integrate the claws into the vehicle mode design, which is, I think, pretty cool. Alright, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the transformation into robot mode. Okay, so let's go ahead and transform this bad boy into robot mode. The first thing you're going to do is you want to transform the legs, as you do with most Transformers. So these are become the legs here. You want to grab onto this section of plastic, pull down. As you can see, that folds out. You want to separate the legs here. And then you'll notice there's this pin here on either hip. What you want to do is rotate the hip so that pin is facing back instead of towards the front, like that. And then you want to rotate around the legs here. And what happens with the legs is they collapse And there you see the leg. The feet come out. You can see you have a foot and a heel. And next thing you want to do is you want to take this section back here and untab it. You can see there is a tab and a slot there. Move that to the back, and you can see there's this red bar here. And as you push forward towards the left here, you will see the automorph at the front. What will happen is these two sections will separate. This will pop up and it will reveal the head. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And 1, 2, 3, automorph. There you can see. Next thing you want to do, you want to take this purple piece of plastic. This is the torso, and it's on a hinge joint. So you want to rotate it up to the point where it actually will tab into place. There we go, and it should lock into place at that position. And you can see the head piece, or rather the neck piece here, just rests on top of that. Then you have the arms to take care of. And you'll notice here you have these two pieces here and this separate piece here. What you want to do, these are the claws or the hands or the fingers for robot mode, and you want to basically untab them. You can see they are secure when they tab in for the transformation into vehicle mode. You have a slot here and a tab here and a slot on the actual claw. And then you want to do the same thing over here. Take this, rotate this up. This piece folds down like that. And then you want to take this and rotate this around. And you notice back here there's this section of plastic. This will fold back. Then you want to take the arm, rotate it around so you have this section of the arm facing you. There is actually a bend. You can see there, it untabs from there. And you have one of the arms complete. And we'll just do, of course, the other arm the same way. Rotate down. Whoops. This gets rotated like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation, starting with the neck. You do have articulation at the neck, and what is really cool is the lower jaw moves, as you can see there, which is nice. It does have light piping, and it has a single eye, as you can see there. Articulation at the shoulders, well, you do have the clickety-clack ratchet joints. You do have a swivel at the shoulder, a bend at the elbow, and you saw the articulation with the fingers / claws. They do articulate as such. And this does have a gimmick. There is a little lever there. When you push the lever, the arms become longer, and it works on both arms. So that is pretty cool. You do have waist articulation. The hips, as you saw, can move forward, back, out to the side. Swivel at the thigh. Of course, you got bend at the knee, and you've actually got two areas of articulation at the knee. You do have ankle movement, as you can see there. Looking at the back, you do have a gimmick. It's the same thing that I showed you in the plane mode. You can rotate this around. You can pop out the missile thing. And I'm not really sure, but I think it's supposed to go like over his shoulder or fire up in the air. I can't really get it to rotate up farther than that. But yeah, to me it's kind of a useless gimmick. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, as you recall, the animated version of Lugnut has the whole back section of the plane detach and become sort of a staff weapon. And I really like that. And I think I will pick up the animated voyager-class Lugnut just because of that feature. Because this gimmick here in the Reveal the Shield Lugnut, to me, is kind of useless. So, but it's there if you like that kind of gimmick. So yeah, it's got pretty good articulation. Fantastic looking robot mode. Definitely recommend you get the figure. It's just a very nice Voyager class figure. Pretty easy to transform, and just looks great on your shelf. Alright, well that's all I have to say about Reveal the Shield Lugnut. Thanks for watching.